But you really are a band that has a lot to say through your music, through all of your lyrics. So if you had to come up with a mission statement overall of what you want to accomplish through your music, what would that mission statement be?
The mission statement through the music would simply just be just for people to feel something, like eliciting an emotion, also provoking emotions, whether that be like a good, bad, joyful, sort of despair, whatever you want to feel. Like, we want to be the forum for that if we can.
Overall, what are you doing through your music or in your life to be that change?
Honestly, I'm just trying to be as active as I can. I mean, with the band, of course, like, that's, I guess, my primary activity in which I'm able to represent and exhibit things that I'm trying to do and trying to change. But outside of the band also, like, I mean, this may sound like cliched or as if I'm trying to get a pat on the back, which I'm not at all. But just like volunteer work, working, I still go home and work with kids, or I also like do charities at home and things like that. But it's not anything I'm doing because I want people to say good job. I'm honestly just doing it because I think I have to, like, because those are the charities and those are the programs that helped raise me as a kid. So now I'm just trying to pay it forward.
And it's nice because here at Warped Tour there are a lot of charities here. So have you been doing anything with anyone on Warped Tour?
Yeah, we've done a lot of signings, and we've donated a lot of the money from CD sales on this tour to different organizations on the tour.
That's awesome.
And we've tried to couple ourselves with things that brands and companies that we align ourselves with, and ideologically as well. So
there's always this kind of mindset of not wanting to sell out, or not wanting to play bigger productions, or not wanting to have an overly polished album.
Right.
And how have your views towards that kind of stuff changed as you've matured as a musician over the last decade?
I don't think the views themselves, I guess, fundamentally have changed, because I've always felt the same way. I feel like music should be as accessible as a forum as possible, or at least I would like our music to be as accessible as possible. But what has changed is my sort of allowing myself to be honest about that, and and my candid nature in telling people, like, I don't fear selling out, because I don't ever think I would continue to be in this band Let Live if I was ever not being authentic or not being honest. So my fear is never to do something that is not true to self and or the band. And diminishing those fears has kind of made this all much easier to kind of grapple, because we're still, I think, just exactly the same mentally as we were when we wrote those records before. And if more people listen to them, then we're just lucky, really, just grateful. Yeah.
Would you guys ever consider going into the studio with like a bigger name producer and putting out more of like a highly produced album than what you guys have done?
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, I think it would actually be quite interesting and cool, because we've been known to be the aforementioned band sonically. I think that it'd be quite interesting to see what would happen if we went with a bigger producer and went with a bigger sound, with in the vein of Let Live, with a Let Live signature on it. I think it might be kind of cool. Yeah, I'm not afraid of that, especially because a lot of the music I listen to and love and adore and appreciate is made by well-known producers and artists.
You have like a big tattoo here that says "Cancer."
Yeah.
And I looked it up, and what I found was that it's like it's about like cancer and like the joyful, like still being able to have joy and laughter even though you have cancer. Like,
absolutely.
Kind of positive message.
Yeah.
And I read that you have been misdiagnosed with cancer.
Yeah.
Could you tell me the story?
Yeah. When my mother had me, she had been going through treatment for leukemia, and so I was very sick. I mean, they told her that either she'd probably have to have an abortion in order for her to keep the treatment and to do whatever, and she denied it and just bared through it and had me. And when I was born, I was pretty prone to being ill, because she was pretty sick when she was when I was developing through the gestation. And then as I got older and older, I would get ailments and get sick fairly often. It was a little bit more than the common cold. Anything from like pneumonia to meningitis I actually caught at one point. And then following meningitis, when I was 19, I was in the hospital, and they couldn't tell me what it was. They said that something was attacking my system and it was keeping me very weak, and white blood cell count was very low. And then they took me into a room, and I spoke with the oncologist, and she told me that I needed to prepare myself for the possibility of having cancer. And then
How old were you then?
19, yeah. And then so I went back to the hospital and I waited, and then they told me, oh, we don't know, and we're gonna have to wait 2 weeks for these test results. And for those 2 weeks, they wanted to keep me in the hospital. And I remember one night just like sitting in the hospital wondering to myself, even if I do have cancer, whether I do or don't, this frame of mind that I'm in, like being upset and feeling like defeated by it, it's not gonna help me whatsoever. So I got up and I ejected myself from the hospital. I was like, I'm gonna leave.
When you're sick in a hospital bed and you're wondering what it is to be loved, when you're sick in your bedroom after the hospital bed, wondering what it means to be loved. When you think you're gonna die, and all you want to do is be loved, or just say something to someone that means something. Maybe have someone there after you die to tell stories about you, and maybe tell people that you weren't such a bad person. Well, it's 10 years later, and I'm still here. I'm not underground. I'm right here at the Vans Warped Tour. And every day that I come out without a track outline, I'm learning something. I'm finally learning what love is. So thank you guys for showing me what that is.